Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this week's options watch list. Before I get into the watch list, if you're not in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and in the bio section of my social media accounts. Also, please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. This week is going to be a short week. Thursday we have off because Thanksgiving, and Friday is going to be half a day. So it's not going to be that much of a volatile week, except we do have FOMC on Wednesday. That's the only thing that I see that you need to be concerned about. Is FOMC on Wednesday, right before a holiday. Now, Powell's not speaking, so there's not going to be no speech or anything like that. But going before a holiday weekend, they could surprise us. They could end up saying something about, about tapering or something like that. Except for they did say that on Friday or one of the days where they mentioned it, and it took 2 hours to react. So, but just keep that in mind. FOMC, just because Powell's not speaking doesn't mean it won't move. It could still move quite a bit. There was one other time this past year where Powell wasn't speaking, and they did have some kind of little surprise statement into the in the minutes, and it did move like quite a bit. So we could end up seeing that. A lot of the hedge funds are going to be gone this week because of the holiday and stuff like that. So they could end up trying to surprise us, catch us off guard or something like that, because that's what the market makers like to do. They try to make as many people look like fools as possible, even the hedge funds. So yeah, I would keep an eye on FOMC this week, even though it's going to be a short week. We could end up seeing some kind of surprising move. Now, SPY is like triple topping right here on the daily, but SPY is SPY. It's not going to care. I mean, it could end up pushing to 475 this week easily. So just we'll play based on how it gaps up and how the price action is on on it. So, but it is showing a bearish divergence. It's flattening out, ascending triangle right here. Daily, it's got an ascending triangle, but you get a bearish divergence going on with a lot of the indicators. So, getting a lot of mixed signals. So, SPY being ridiculous, I would say it's probably going to push to all-time high, make more all-time highs, and go to 475. So I only have one in the bear side and a few ones that have potential for a reversal, but I'll start with the bearish now. BAs, when I have them on the bearish, and I actually thought BA was going to end up breaking out this past week and having a strong move. Then it just gets shut down. I think delayed orders or something like that came out on Friday. So it gets below this 205 area right here. It has a possibility of dropping to 205 and possibly even down to the 185, 180 area. You got a gap down here at the 161. I don't imagine it's going to drop that much, but BA, you never know. It's been sitting in this channel of 240, actually 235. We'll say 240 to 205 for the last few months. So it does break this 205 area, which has been a strong support. It does break down below that we could end up seeing a flush. But this is an area where I'd be watching an either or. So I would watch it underneath, we'll say Friday's lows of 213 for push to 205. Now 205 is going to be the do or die area for BA. Like I said, it can go down to 200, which would be a big psychological number, to 195, then this 185, 180 level. So BA, get a little bit of downside. I don't think there's going to be that much downside. I don't see it going to 150 or even the worst case, maybe fill the gap at 165, but I don't think so. I think it will probably hold this 200, 205 level, but we'll have to see. Not much downside to that, I don't think, but you never know. Now, the ones I expect some reversals, obviously, is Twitter is one of them. Twitter is just getting beaten down. I mean, the RSI is at 25 on the daily. I just can't remember the last time it's been been that low. Let me go back it out a little bit to a year and see if it, what was it down here? Yeah, it was down here. It was below the, this area. It did the same thing. It kind of, blow it up a little more. Kind of chopped around, like right here, it chopped around and had that one exaggerated drop right there, which is right here, didn't reverse. So we might see reversal this week on Twitter, and also having full body candles outside the bottom of the Keltner channel is another indication that it's been extreme out of the range. So RCT trend line is way up here at 64, so we could end up seeing a reversal. So I would watch it over, get back to the, I'd watch it over Friday's high of $50 for a push to 54, 55, 56. And it's got some open air over 56 for, yeah, this 55 area is going to be pretty big. But, yeah, it's got open air until like $58, $60. So we'll have to see if Twitter can get some momentum this week. Another one, Roku. I mean, this one, I just feel like I'm just... Every time I think it's going to bounce, it just goes lower and lower and lower. To me, I just think it's going to end up bouncing. Roku's going to end up having a very, very violent bounce. So the last time it was this low on the RSI was back during the pandemic, which was right in here. And it got below the Keltner channel again, and it just went nuts. So this could end up doing the same thing, that it could end up finally reversing. I would not be a bit surprised if we end up seeing a $40 day on Roku. I don't know if it's going to be this week or next week. I mean, it's a short week, and every time you think that short weeks are going to be a dull week, and usually they are, they catch off surprise. Like last Christmas, was it last Christmas or the Christmas before? Christmas Eve. I remember they had, SPY had a very, very strong day and caught a lot of people off guard. I think that was the year that, let's see, let's look back while we're talking about that. Did it, SPY. It sold off into Christmas, and then it ended up having Christmas Eve, ended up having a violent bounce. Let's go back. Let's see where to do that. Is it, you know, that's, was it right here? Yeah, it was this year right here. I remember this. Right here, Christmas. No, it was Christmas. Yeah, day after Christmas. It was not Christmas Eve. Day after Christmas, we had that massive bounce. It sold off into Christmas Day, and just it bounced really hard. I mean, it went from 233 to $13 move on that bounce on that right there. So whenever you think that it's going to be a week or a quiet period or something like that, they catch you off guard. So they could end up doing that with Roku, which was the whole point of why I brought that up. Now, another one is Snap. I really think that Roku will have a big day. I just don't know if it'll be this week or not. Now, Snap getting clobbered again on Friday. I would watch it over... the ideal place is to watch it over 54, but it's already at 51.30, and the range on Snap is really not that much. I mean, it's only like $2 or $3. So I'd watch it over 52 for a push to 54 to 56, 57. If it gets over this 57 area, you get 60, which is gap resistance. Will likely probably reject and consolidate before trying to fill that gap. But last few times Snaps came down here, it's bounced. So it's definitely likes this area 51, the 50 area, 50, 51 to bounce. So it did it here, and I think it could do it here. So we'll have to see. Snap makes too much money. Their app is used way too much. So it will end up recovering. It's just a overreaction from earnings and stuff like that. So next one is Disney. A lot of stocks have a lot of catching up to do and a lot of potential for bouncing for oversold conditions. Obviously, being with Twitter, Roku, and Snap. Disney is another one over 155 for push to 158, 160. Then you get gap resistance right here at the 164 area. Likely will reject at the $10 move. It can fill, but I don't think it will. So I would definitely watch for a reversal on Disney to the 164 level. Target is another one. Target has just been going crazy. This stock, like many other the retail stocks like Costco and Home Depot, just does not care and keeps going. So I would imagine that it's going to end up trying to make a reversal. Now, it can go lower, don't get me wrong. It could end up going down to 244, 240, but I'd watch it over the 252 level for push 254 to 256, 257. Then if it does manage to get over that, now this is one stock that could just end up, now like right here, it's consolidates for a little bit, then it just takes off. I mean, it went from 231 to 253 just in a few days. So you could see this kind of a move right here and go to all-time highs 270 plus really, really fast. So Target, never count that one out. PayPal is another one that is been beaten down. They make quite a bit of money. You know, I just think this is going to get, this is really, really sold off. You know, also like to point out a bullish divergence right here. It's making a lower low, but yeah, RSI is making a higher low. Histogram is making a higher low. I think that PayPal is going to end up bouncing. Plus, it's there's a pivot right here in this 204, 205 area, and this 192. So if it gets over this 200 level, I mean, I'd probably end up getting it over. Yeah, you could say 200, but I feel like it's already down here at 193. You know, you can get over it over 196, for a push to 200 be a big psychological number, then 210, 205, 215, basically every $5. Now, gap resistance is right here in the 215 area. Even though it's 213, it did get up over 213, but it quickly got rejected. So it did test gap resistance at least once, and I don't think it's going to go break through it on the first shot. I think it will probably end up getting to this 213, 214 area, 215 area, and probably consolidating before getting filling that gap. So PayPal could end up having a strong move. So you get the bullish divergence going on there. And also the last time, same as Roku, the last time it was oversold this much on the weekly was back in COVID of 2020. So and look what happened, same thing, it just went nuts. So I think PayPal's got a lot of potential. A lot of these reversals that I mentioned have a lot of upside potential. You know, Twitter, Roku, Snap, Disney, TGT, and PayPal. So I would definitely watch for that. And like I said earlier, FOMC this week on Wednesday, that could be a knee-jerker. That could end up being a surprise, even though there's no Powell. So just because there's no Powell doesn't mean it cannot have a violent move, because it can. So that's going to do it for the watch list. Hope to see you in the room, and thanks for watching.